Welcome back again with yours truly, the counselor, Mr. James Horton. And we're in the month of October, and we're going to be October 2020, and we're going to be covering a topic that I described and called defining culture and domestic culture, cultural dysfunction. Defining culture and domestic cultural dysfunctions. We have many cultural dysfunctions, and the word culture is very strange to many people, as it was once strange to me. I define culture really in a place like what race are you from, what nationality are you, and what part of the region of the world are you from. And so I define culture as that, not even knowing that there are cultures within a culture, right? Meaning different things. So we're going to read on, right? It says, the way we view culture, in the many ways culture shapes and directs our thoughts, our actions, and our beliefs. The word culture was once thought to be limited to one's racial group or one's religion. Culture is actually much broader than race and religion. Culture represents the unseen powers in many groups. It also has a way of directing our relationship choices and directing the way we treat those relationships. The way we treat those relationships. Ask yourself questions, all right? It says, number one, do you feel or believe that your neighborhood culture of friends act, think, and behave a lot different than other neighborhoods' cultures act, think, and behave? Right? Again, do you feel or believe that your neighborhood culture of friends act, think, and behave a lot different than those other neighborhood cultures act, think, and behave? A lot of cultures and a lot of settings within cultures, a lot of groups of young people as well as old people, some would say, carry themselves a lot different than other neighborhood cultures and groups think, right? Some people are into what one would call colors, right? They dress a certain way, and they wear certain particular kind of clothing, certain particular kind of scarves. I'm just opening it up for you. There's many other cultural settings and cultural dress codes, as well as behaviors and what one stands for in those groups. There are times where you'll find some groups might even eat at a certain time. Some groups might even go through a fasting at a certain time and a certain time of the year. These are cultural designs that I'm trying to convey to you. All right, number two. Has your culture or any of your cultural groups of friends ever helped direct your mindset on the kind of woman or partner type of relationship they believe would be right for you, for your relationship partner, for you? All right? Sometimes we are unknowing of this. When I say there's an unknown thing within cultures, there are times when even myself, standing around a group of fellas, standing around a group of my peers, and someone walks by, a young lady walks by, and it's amazing when, most of us may have never even noticed her or never even gotten extra excited, or it could be a group of women and not ever have gotten even looked at this person walking by, but someone in the group might say, "Woo, look at that. Look at her. Look at him." And it's amazing how the domino effect begins to unfold. And everybody in the group now tends to be looking that way, tends to say, "Wow," and tends to even desire this particular person, right? And then, and it goes on. It goes on from what one is wearing, right? Someone takes the lead and buys a combination of clothes, and before you know it, the combination of clothes is worn by all the people in that particular culture, right? Whether it's walking this way, sagging this way, whatever. more skinny jeans instead of more boot wear kind of jeans. I mean, it goes on and on. And it's all designed and fits in the box of what we call culture, right? Number 3, is your culture responsible for teaching you the moral principles and standards when it comes to being in a relationship, right? Is your culture responsible for teaching you your moral principles and standards when it comes to being in a relationship? I mean, like, some of us didn't have no daddy, right? Some of us didn't have a present mama, right? Especially from the 80s, there was a hard hit on most groups and most families, right? So my grandma is doing her best to raise, 3 different sons, one, maybe a daughter too, raising all the children. She really don't have time to show them how to do it. And so, and also how to do it is not just raising them up and feeding them, right? It's role modeling what relationships are supposed to be. It's role modeling is a man and it's a woman, usually in these kind of things, to where they model how to treat a woman. They model how women are supposed to be treated. They model different things on how to treat a man, right? This is a modeling thing, role modeling even. And, it makes it very difficult on just one parent. So we find ourselves in these cultural groups, not just a family, but we also call cultures family. And we get information on how one should be treated, whether good, bad, or whatever. We get information and role model on how to talk to someone of the opposite sex, or whatever your choice may be. So we're going to move right on. Number 4, was violence in relationships with your partner one of the cultural teachings you learned when you were growing up? Was violence in relationships with your partner one of the cultural teachings you learned when you were growing up? Oh, yes, I have to say, it was not cute. It was very ugly most of the time. And thank God for the jarring love that I had for my mother, the protective role that I adapted for my mother, for love, because I was able to see past what was right in front of me, the violence, the staying up all night, mama scared, and mama trying to protect the children because the violence was sure enough going on in my household. So I don't know about you all's household, but in many households there was a cultural teaching when it came to a cultural role model, even when it came to your upbringing or my upbringing. So it's a good question. Just want to ask you guys. Number 5. Did your culture of friends and associate family members, spiritual groups, club members, or neighborhood turf friends? It says, did your culture of friends and associate family members, spiritual group, club members, or neighborhood turf friends responsible for teaching you how to treat your relationship partner like you want to be treated? Were they responsible for teaching you how to treat her? Was they responsible for teaching her how to treat you? Right? I mean, did you let them run the relationship? Did you let them tell you, no, you don't buy flowers for a woman. You don't buy flowers you don't buy candy. You don't buy gifts. You don't do anything for them. I mean, was that the information that you picked up out there in that cultural group of friends, partners, club members, or whoever, right? Because, I mean, you can't help but see. You can go to this place over here, this place over here. Everybody's walking around, or most people are walking around, male and female, using words like, I'm a player, right? I mean, was they responsible for giving you the label of player? Was they responsible for giving you the tag of killer, right? Were they responsible for teaching you to say, I go dumb, right? Were they responsible? Who was responsible? Are you now already to take responsibility for the way you get out and the way you carry yourself, right? Is the question. Number 6, all right? Did your culture teach you that all women should be the sole provider of the home for the man, cook and clean up after the man, protect and provide financial and physical security for the man they are with? Yes or no? I mean, like, I ask that because I have to put a twist on things. I choose to put a twist on some of these things that we grew up with, you know, like even some of our church teaching, right? And I haven't read it yet myself, so I won't deny that it's in there. But there's a thing that has come out where the man, they say, it said, is the sole provider. The man is the security protector of the home. The man is the one who goes out and washes the car and just does all kind of hard labor to make sure his family eats. I don't disagree with that, right? But today there's a new picture. Today, the woman appears to be the provider most of the time, not all the time. Don't get too mad at me, brother. But the setup is: find you a breezy, find you a broad, find you a girl, find you a lady, find you a woman that has a spot, right? Whether she has several kids or not, that's okay, right? Find you somewhere where you can lay down. Find you somewhere where there might even be a raggedy couch, right? Find you somewhere where your woman will take care of you. If a rat runs through the house, if a spider is on the wall, tell her to get it, right? Tell her to make sure she protects you so you won't get bit, right? And so these households are much different than the original design, one would say in the Bible. You know, Adam was the first man, and the thing about Adam was so, special, is that when God made, as the writing goes, as the writer writes, says that before Eve came onto the earth, Adam had a job. Adam had his life in order. Adam had a spot. And when she came, he showed her around the spot where the food was at and how the whole design would be, right? But today seems to be much different. Today, I believe that there are a lot of made and designed relationships that are much like the relationship with mama. Because mama used to feed us, right? Give us a little breast milk even, and all kind of things, right? So I'm just saying all that to kind of get your mind to working. Brothers, we need to step our game up, right? It ain't that hard, and it's worth the job. It's worth the job to step your game up. There's nothing wrong with having a helpmate. But a helpmate means that you help her too, and we help them too. We help each other. And there's going to be more money in the household and more stability in the household if we're both helping each other, right? Not one doing everything. All right, so what you may have learned from the past, the slavery time and the slave master, right, is a lot different than what the Bible says and what the Word says and what the writing says. It's a lot different. Just because the slave master wife sat in the house and didn't have to do anything doesn't mean that's what the writing says. The writing talks about a helpmate. So find out what is a helpmate to you, all right? And what are you as a helpmate? So number 7. Did your culture of friends teach you that you can have as many multiple partners you want in a relationship that you can afford? Or did they teach you that you can have as many multiple partners who can afford you? Right? I'm going to read that again just in case you missed it. Did your culture of friends teach you that you can have as many multiple partners you want in a relationship that you can afford, or did they teach you that you can have as many multiple partners who can afford you? Right? Now, we have different religions. We have the Islamic religion. We have different things, and you know, and we design it, man, to be really, I would say, selfish in such a way that it contradicts treating her or treating you or each other like you want to be treated. But now, if you're treating each other like you want to be treated, you have to watch out for the multiple partners. If you can have multiple wives because you can afford multiple wives, then that would mean that she can have multiple husbands, right? As a man, I know we don't play that. You know, just because the rules are this way for us, we do not want the rules to be the same for her, right? You know, even our society has been saying it for many years, from the beginning of time, when a woman couldn't even really have a real job, when her job was only limited to the household, right? When she got in position to get a job, we still didn't want to pay her the same salary as we were getting paid, right? So there's some off stuff here, and I don't think it's fair. You know, don't get mad at me for taking up for the opposite sex. I'm just keeping it real, right? Keeping it real. Any one of us could have been born woman or man. So let's keep it straight and let's keep it fair. All right? Number 8. Did your culture group teach you that having more than one or multiple relationship partners can and will qualify you to be doing 52 weeks of domestic violence classes? Did your cultural group teach you that having more than one or many multiple relationship partners can and will qualify you to be doing 52 weeks of domestic violence classes? I wrote that because I know out of all the years, out of the 20 years of pushing this thing, out of the 20 years of teaching, right, and out of seeing so many people come for domestic violence classes, women and men, that I know when you put too many people, too many puzzle pieces inside of the puzzle, inside of your life, your relationship, you're going to have some problems. You know, you're going to be out messing with too many people's heads. Now, one woman is enough. I'm telling you, if you've ever been out there as myself, I've been out there with that kind of gameplay. I always had trouble. Thank God my windows didn't get broke out of my car. I had many cars, right? And I would not have been able to afford replacing windows. I was just blessed that it didn't happen to me. But it did happen to many of you, right? So you want to stop getting your windows broke out. And you also want to stop playing games, right? You want to try to make some adjustments to your culture, right? Because if you psyched out in that cultural teaching, it's going to be some consequences. It's going to be some consequences, and it's probably going to be some jail time, even worse. You know, read your newspaper, read your Facebook, turn the news on, take some notes. You'll find out I'm telling you the truth. All right, we're going to go to number 9. We're going to close this out. It says, have you ever trusted and believed in everything you were taught and learned from your cultural group of friends and family that has you now questioning whether they were right or wrong from the pain you've been receiving from those teachings, right? Now, it says, have you ever trusted and believed in everything you were taught and learned from those cultural groups and friends and family that has you now questioning whether they were wrong or right? Yeah, I have. You know, they would tell, people would be even in the street talking about it go this way, it go that way. You know, people would be saying things like don't never tell, right? Oh man, and we were just admiring those people that said never tell until they got themselves into a bind, right? And the amazing thing, the most people you thought was supposed to be respected, the people you thought helped write the script of everything, right? They turned around and been the ones out there telling, right? So it was all kind of information. It was all kind of portrayal and stuff like that. People said stick to the script. And so here I go, and here you guys have been going, sticking to some foolish script that no one else is sticking to, right? People break the rules at all times in these coaches, right? And you gotta find out, what am I to do? Am I gonna keep searching for a culture, copycat, cultural thing, or I'm gonna write my own script? I think you need to write your own script because you have your own life to look out for. You got your own thing when it comes to your time of leaving here. And the time of leaving this place, this earth, this planet, right? You want to be kind of prepared. You don't want to say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say to my higher power, to my God, it wasn't my fault. It was them dudes that told me what to do. No. It was that culture that told me to do this and to do that. It was Big Bubba and them told me to go down there and do this and do that. No, you're going to be responsible for your own action. Nobody wants to hear, even in court. You go to court looking at a life sentence, a 3 to 4 to 5 life sentences, and you want to say, I did it, but he told me to do it. That's not going to get you out. Oh no, it's not going to get you fully out of trouble. And if you get out by doing that, you're still going to have trouble. So stand for something and stop falling for anything. Okay, that's going to be it for yours truly, the counsel, Mr. James Hoyt. Thank you for attending my group.